Look, I'll be honest, I was not anticipating making this video. However, with new information and clarifications coming to light within the most recent episode of Big Brother 26, I thought it would be fitting to make an addendum to my previous video about the complexities of secret powers in Big Brother. However, I won't be going into as in-depth thought in game theory as my previous video. If you're interested to hear more about that, you can check out my previous video about secret powers after this one. Instead, I'm essentially going to be recapping the flow of information regarding Quinn's secret power and how so many people eventually found out. So, with all of that preamble out of the way, it is the one and only RJ21 here, and let's talk about how Quinn's secret power leaked in Big Brother 26.
And with power comes friends. Friends bring longevity in this game, and with longevity comes a comically sized check with $750K on it.
While my previous video did a pretty good job at encompassing what happened regarding Quinn's power, there were some things I got slightly wrong and omitted, so I'll be going over everything once again. In week 1, Quinn won the Deepfake HOH, and in an attempt to build trust, he only told 2 people, Angela and Chemo. However, Quinn pissed off Angela in week 2, leading to Angela leaking this information to Kenny and Tucker. Unfortunately, neither Kenny nor Tucker believed Angela because of all of the chaos and mistrust she had created back in week 1. It wasn't until Tucker went to Chemo towards the tail end of the week and asked about this information to where Chemo confirmed that Quinn had the secret power. This next part is what I got slightly wrong in the previous video, so I wanted to correct it here. With this newfound confirmation from Chemo and Lisa leaving the Big Brother house without making a scene about her having a secret power, Tucker then leaks this information to only Cam and Joseph. Cam is then the one who tells Cedric about the power. Cedric and Joseph later talk to Quinn and ask him directly about powers, giving Quinn the opportunity to own up about having a power. However, Quinn doesn't admit to having the power, continuing to lie about it, believing that neither Cedric nor Joseph know about his power. Tucker, Kenny, Cedric, and Cam later create a new alliance called the Ball Handlers with the main goal to target Quinn and flush his power out of the game. However, Cedric wasn't as loyal to this alliance as Tucker thought, as at the veto ceremony, Tucker went through with his plan and used the power of veto on Angela instead of himself. Cedric then blindsides Tucker by nominating Mackenzie as the replacement nominee. Unfortunately for Cedric, Mackenzie activated America's veto, pulling herself off of the block and leaving a vacant spot on the chopping block for America to decide, creating the possibility for Quinn to be nominated anyways. As you can probably tell, this is how crazily information can leak in the Big Brother house and how quickly things can spiral out of control, especially about things as confidential as secret powers.
None.
I'm not going to go as in-depth into this analysis portion as I did that in my prior video, but I did want to highlight how the episode essentially confirmed some of my thoughts and beliefs about how to handle information about secret powers. One of the biggest concerns I had about a secret power holder, or Quinn in this instance, choosing to tell only a select few people instead of telling nobody, which Quinn absolutely should have done in this position, is leaks and the whereabouts of your power spreading to other people you didn't necessarily want to tell. Turns out, this is exactly what happens to Quinn. He told one wrong person in Chemo and it ended up tanking his entire game, at least for the time being. However, something that's interesting to note is that Quinn is not nearly as concerned as I thought he was going to be. At the end of episode 10, he laments about how Tucker poked the quote-unquote most well-insulated bear in the game, essentially bragging about how even if America nominates him, he is going to be fine no matter what. This could come off as cocky to some people, and that's completely fine. But what I'm more concerned about is the fact that Quinn might slowly be becoming more complacent in the game. He might be feeling so confident about all the good work he's been doing in the prior weeks that he may not need to play as hard in the future, which could open up more blind spots, such as players like Tucker.
The problem for him is my strength isn't in the upgrade. It's the people that I've surrounded myself with, and he's just poked the most well-insulated bear in the game. And now, guess who's enemy number 1 next week? You, Tucker.
Another concern I had about Quinn choosing to only tell a select few people is the people in his alliances that he chooses not to tell eventually finding out about his power and no longer trusting Quinn because he didn't directly tell them. Once again, this is exactly what happens to Quinn. I might even go one step further to say that some of the house guests, such as Cedric, followed the same line of logic I had previously laid out. It was this sentiment along the lines of, I didn't know Quinn had a power and I'm supposed to be in an alliance with Quinn, so why didn't he tell me? maybe I can't trust Quinn and work as closely with him as I initially thought. There's now this massive cloud of mistrust looming over Quinn, and a lot of people are beginning to rethink their game relationship with him, disrupting the once solid foundation of his position within the social dynamics of the house.
Assuming this is true, I'm kinda tripping because Quinn's in the Pentagon and he hasn't told me or any Pentagon members about his power, which why would you not tell us? Wow, okay, I see how you going.
Finally, I wanted to refer to the revised power tree for Quinn's secret power. There's still a lot of levels of thought and it's still as complex as ever, but what I wanted to highlight is the Cedric and Quinn relationship. As you can see, Cedric is the furthest removed from Quinn on the power tree. However, Cedric made an interesting decision in going all the way up to the source and asking Quinn directly. Quinn chooses to lie to Cedric, but Cedric knows Quinn is lying. Why does this happen? If Quinn is the literal source of information as the power holder, why doesn't Cedric believe him? Well, I believe it's because of this idea revolving around the distance between layers. Because Cedric is the furthest away from Quinn on the power tree, Quinn is perceived as a less trustworthy figure from Cedric's perspective, as opposed to somebody like Cam, who Cedric perceives as the direct source of information, despite Cam's low placement in the overall power tree. This occurrence reinforces the idea that the more information spreads throughout secondary sources, the more disconnected those distant individuals feel from the original power holder.
Quinn, I gave you a couple chances to come clean, and you gave me nothing. Bro, what? And if this is how you're gonna be, I don't know if I can see a future in this game with you.
Overall, the manner in which Quinn's secret power leaked throughout a large portion of the house should be a sign to future house guests about how to handle confidential information and what you should do when facing these precarious positions. Despite everybody involved in this example having very different roles in the overall dynamics of the power tree, the way in which each house guest played their unique positions is fascinating and is what makes the complex strategy of Big Brother so much fun to watch and engage in. But those are just my thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends if you have any of those, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.
Hey guys, it's time for the veto meeting.